We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today. Today.
Well, let's go ahead and proceed because it's not going to be dismissed today.
Today's courtroom drama is one for the books. A self-proclaimed sovereign citizen found himself face-to-face with a judge, and let's just say things took a wild turn. In a bold and baffling move, he actually threatened the judge right there in the courtroom. Yes, you heard that right. It was a shocking moment that left everyone stunned. What happened next? You'll have to see it to believe it. Let's break down this jaw-dropping encounter.
Good morning to you, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to represent myself in this matter. And for the record, my name is Grayson Bay.
All right. City of Detroit versus Javar, Grayson Bay. Your offer, sir, is a $240 fine, failure to display, and a seatbelt ticket. You pay those, we'll close the other matters out. That will abstract to the Secretary of State. And then the seatbelt ticket is $65. So $240, $65. We'll close the matters out. That'll be a failure to display. It will abstract, but it won't carry any points. And today is the date and time set for a trial.
Your Honor, today was supposed to be set for trial, and I don't consent to any of this.
This guy seriously believes the court needs his permission to prosecute, like it's some kind of group project he can just decline. The confidence is unreal. He strolls into court and says, "I don't consent," as if that magically makes the charges disappear. Newsflash, that's not how the legal system works. If I were the judge, I'd have slapped him with contempt before he could finish his sentence. A little time in a holding cell might help him reconsider that strategy.
Okay, it is set for trial. I just gave you your offer so that you can you go in? Okay, there. I just gave you your offer so you could.
I'm not accepting that. I won't accept that offer.
Mr. Corporal Ambrose, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Good morning, Corporal Brian Ambrose, Detroit Police Department, Badge 415.
Good morning to you. Okay, let's go. Are you ready to proceed, Corporal Ambrose?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I would object to holding this trial. I believe he stated that he's a different person. We have a ticket for a Mr. Javar Grayson. Grayson Bay is an entirely different person. We don't have jurisdiction over. We don't have a case over. I would object to holding that trial.
I'm going to deny the objection. He just said he's Grayson Bay. He just I don't think he's objecting to the fact. I
object to that, Your Honor. I'm objecting, and I also questioning jurisdiction.
Picture this: walking into court like you've already won, only to end up as the punchline of your own story. This guy came in swinging, thinking he had a game-changing legal argument, only for the judge to shut it down with the courtroom equivalent of "take a seat." And it gets better. He tried to question the court's jurisdiction. Like, really? If the court had no authority, why did you even show up? You had the whole morning to back out, but instead, you showed up just in time to take a loss in full HD.
Okay. Well, I'm denying your motion about jurisdiction, sir. The court has jurisdiction over you, so let's. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Grayson Bay?
No, I'm not. I object to anything that you call yourself doing. Also, I like to add that I sent this Brian and brochure. I sent him a COL. It's a cut-off law form. I warned him about this situation. This process is also in Wayne County. He's being sued. We can continue this all day. I also will add you to the case if you want to continue this. This needs to be dismissed today. Today.
The confidence these sovereign citizens walk in with never ceases to amaze me. It's like they truly believe they're starring in some courtroom thriller no one signed up for. They act as if laws are optional, like they're just suggestions. But telling a judge to throw out your case or you'll sue him, that's not bold. That's straight up illegal. At this point, it's less of a defense strategy and more of an open invitation for contempt charges.
Now we're seeing Brian Ambrosius in 3 weeks in Wayne County.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and proceed because it's not going to be dismissed today. Okay. So you can do what you want to do over in circuit court, then have your way. That is your right. I don't know how you're proceeding in circuit court when you feel that this court doesn't even have jurisdiction over you. So let's go ahead and proceed. Corporal Ambrose, you want to speak with them before we proceed, Ms. Snyder?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do think we just need to clear up on the record that Your Honor has denied my motion to not have this matter heard today based on this defendant saying he is not the defendant before us. And also that defendant has agreed that he is not the defendant before us, but Your Honor is telling us to still do this trial. I need to make sure that's clear on the record.
Yeah, I don't think that he's denying that he's not Javar Grayson Bay. Are you denying that you're not Javar Grayson Bay, sir?
I am the living person, Grayson Bay, in living form.
At this point, the judge really needs to put his foot down because this guy is turning the courtroom into a stand-up routine. He's openly mocking the process, disrespecting the judge right to his face, and somehow still standing there like he owns the place. It's wild that he hasn't been shut down yet. Honestly, this guy's practically asking for a fast pass to a holding cell.
Okay, so there it is. However he wants to articulate it, we'll let him articulate that. He's Grayson Bay. He's Javar Grayson Bay. His mom gave him that name. I don't think that's any dispute. Okay, so
that name has a social security card attached to it. It also has.
I think it's going to be pretty quick, Ms. Snyder. I'll put you in a breakout room with Corporal Ambrose and put it that way. It is just an expired plate, a seatbelt ticket, no proof of insurance. What is this other thing? Refuse to exhibit license and a false information ID. So just join the breakout room, have a conversation with Corporal Ambrose, and then we'll just hear it. And if he has a right to remain silent, he says he doesn't want to be represented by a lawyer, and you can just put your case on the record, and I'll have to make a decision based on that.
Up until now, things have been, well, as normal as they can be with a sovereign citizen in the mix. But now it's about to heat up. The prosecutor's had enough and is pushing for a warrant, frustrated that this guy won't even make a real attempt to represent himself. But Judge Perkins, he's not having it. He straight up says the case is moving forward because he refuses to waste another cent of taxpayer money on this circus. And honestly, I've got to respect that. Why shell out more for someone who treats the law like an option? Buckle up. This is where it gets really interesting.
My supervisor has advised me to file an interlocutory appeal, Your Honor.
An interlocutory appeal on my motion, on your motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Or I suppose time to brief the issue, maybe on this record, or I'd leave in Your Honor's discretion.
Let's see does that interlocutory appeal, if that is,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, are we back on the record for Grayson?
Yeah, let's go back on the record with Mr. Javar Grayson Bay. Now, there's that interlocutory appeal. I mean, I have to proceed. I mean, I got the discretion of whether I want to allow you to do that or not, or just proceed, and you can file your appeal. Correct? Give me the law on that. You're muted, Miss. You're muted, Miss Snyder.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My supervisor is talking to me over the wall, so it's hard to hear two people at once.
Okay.
The court rule is, I think she might be coming back. It's MCR 7.205.
So 205, application for leave to appeal, and you said, what was the citation? What were the other?
7.212, but that's just saying the format for briefs.
I have 7.205 as application for leave to appeal. Appeals to circuit court. 7.105. If the order appealed is interlocutory, setting forth facts showing how the appellant would suffer substantial harm by awaiting final judgment before taking an appeal.
We believe that the substantial harm that the people would suffer would be the defendant has already stated he's filing numerous lawsuits against the court, against the parties, against the officer. We believe we'd be giving him a golden parachute. It's just one more issue to add to his level of appeals. This is one issue that needs to be clarified. Of course, he will be found, I believe, through fingerprints to be either the person given that ticket or Javar Grayson, the person given the ticket, will be given a capias warrant and we can move on. But I do believe that this issue needs to be handled before we make a further record. I have a duty to mitigate the city's damages. And I believe that's what we're doing and what I was advised to do by my supervisor.
But how would the city be harmed at all if we proceed? What would be any harm for the city? Especially if you acknowledge the fact that you think that by fingerprints that would be Mr. Javar Grayson.
But Your Honor, what we think and what we can prove as a matter of the record and as the court of law is different. I do understand. I believe he's being frivolous. I think he is wasting the court's time. But I do think that as lawyers, as a court of law who do have to face appellate issues, this is something that we need to clear up on the record and have a clear record, such as a chain of custody of who Mr. Grayson is. I don't think it would take that long. Or we could solve this today with giving Javar Grayson a capias warrant and let Bay, whoever he may be, go on about his business. Either or. But I do think that having this trial over both of our objections is not the correct answer.
I just don't feel. I just don't feel.
You can't stand
one. I don't see any harm in proceeding. He's already indicated that he is Javar Grayson, except he wants to be acknowledged as Javar Grayson Bay, or he's the living. I don't know how he termed it. Person of Javar Grayson Bay. I don't think that, as a matter of fact, when Corporal Ambrose came in the room and introduced himself, I saw Mr. Grayson Bay sort of kind of had a look on his face. And to me, I took that look as he knows Corporal Ambrose. And it's no question. I haven't asked Corporal Ambrose if this is the person that he pulled over, but I'll definitely let you ask Corporal Ambrose that. But I don't think that there is any sort of identity issue here. I think the issue comes into something that we've seen probably, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure we're going to see it more in the future. And I agree that those things are frivolous and they do not apply. So I don't see anywhere where we can't proceed with.
Let me know what you think, because honestly, both sides kind of have a point here. The judge says it's obvious who this sovereign citizen is, even if he refuses to acknowledge his name in court, and that's the whole reason he showed up in the first place. But the prosecutor's pushing back, saying they still need proper proof of identity. Without it, the whole case could get appealed and end up back at square one. Imagine going through all of this chaos just to start over because they skipped the most basic step. At this point, I can't tell whether to laugh or just shake my head.